Itu, lawan boleh dihancurkan nih, the shot dari Mei. Ini operatornya agak susah nih kayaknya kena. Udah ada 2 kill masuk. Mei akhirnya win the triple 50 didapatkan oleh DFM. Biasa ronde favorit DFM. Ketika mereka cuma dia ternyata ini dari defense atau miss. Bener satu nih. Kasih kesempatan kedua. Nah, miss lagi. Tapi ini juga miss juga sebenarnya dari sini. Iya. Ini skin operator ini. Wah. Kan dia terkenalnya pakai
Ini cuma 25 fps ya, jadi 60 bisa sih, tapi maksudnya tuh
iya. Kita satu sekarang Rises
nggak bisa
dengan Odin samanya. Tapi sekarang DFM dia bakal coba untuk
ini double novarnya. Audio desktopnya masuk. Nah, masuk
sedikit. Kalau coba untuk dibalas dengan wallbang. What a shot from Scary. Berhasil menumbangkan net. 5 melawan 4. Dan DFM, lihat loh, mereka masih belum menemukan tujuannya. Coba untuk bermain dan juga bergerak secara perlahan. Langsung nampaknya mid to be adalah tujuan sekaligus eksekusi. Bukan, tapi Zes masih berada dari bagian boathouse dengan Odinnya bersama dengan Darion. Dua pemain ini bakal menjadi anchor yang akan diuji sebentar lagi. Darion dari shutdown, masih ada Zes mampu untuk mendapatkan 1 kill, tapi tidak bisa mendapatkan yang kedua. Follow up cepat dilakukan oleh Scary. 3 melawan 2, musim ini 1 melawan 3 karena Scary berhasil menusuk 2 pemain sekaligus. Spike berhasil planting, tapi masih ada 3 punggawa lain yang harus dilawan.
Wah, kena dong.
Dan Redlah deliver the final blow. Bleed Esports 6-1. What was that kill from Scary? Itu kill yang keduanya.
Gila.
Ke arah belakang loh. Bener. Itu kayak Ses wave ya? Harusnya iya. Apa emang dia pure game sense aja banding ke belakang dan dapetin 1 kill? Itu gue bener-bener penasaran banget. Mungkin kita akan melihat replaynya, tapi selain dari itu, eksekusi pertahanan yang dilakukan sama Bleed itu benar-benar sempurna banget. Double backside yang berhasil. Nah ini dia, dapetin 1 kill.
Sebentar.
Banyak lah itu pelurunya. Banget. Ya itulah pokoknya. Mungkin dia tadi sedang melakukan taunting. Gue nggak tahu itu nge-whiff atau reload abis peluru. Nah benar. Soalnya agak lama itu. Si Ses dari arah belakang. But it is what it is. Bleed Esports berhasil menambahkan pundi-pundi angka mereka. Flash ala Vision Striker. Coba dia lesatkan. DFM. Site yang akan dituju. Operator masih ada di tangan Ye. Lihat ke arah ini. Dan ini bakalan jadi angle yang menurut gue kalau udah ada soundcue, ada utility nggak di smoke, itu ada pertanda buruk. Ada kemungkinan kalau operator main di arah Aiming, dan benar saja Mas Ye ini lagi main dari arah Haven. Flash drive coba untuk dilesatkan. Buka total dari Ye, terkena paranoia, benar usir total Zes. Untuk main dari arah switcher, main dari arah pintu, dan langsung memukul mundur. Beberapa tembakan sudah coba untuk dilesatkan. Sudah ada toxic screen yang dibentangkan. Langsung coba untuk melesatkan Aldron, tapi sangat amat disayangkan. Gak ada yang ngancurin pintunya. Jadi bingung, Aldronnya nggak bisa lewat. Permainan post plan, 4 side 1 ke arah Emin, dan udah mulai memutar dari Medusa menuju ke arah A-shot. Flashnya udah dilesatkan dan paranoia sudah coba untuk dilemparkan juga. Reza berhasil membuka kill dan bahkan Scary bersama Darian.
Wah, DFM
masing-masing
fokusin
dapat 1
udah.
kill. Datang flank dari arah belakang. Belum terspot posisi dari Mei. Kontak sedikit tadi dan langsung ditutup oleh Ye. The King is back. Bleed Esports mendapatkan angka yang itu operator kill yang jadi buat Ye. Iya, mantap banget. Dan dia suka banget ya dari tag yang dilakuin sama Bleed Esports, kayak mereka bareng langsung. Rapi juga. Iya, rapi, jadi akhirnya kelihatan. Jadi kayak komunikasinya di sini kelihatan jalan banget. Betul. Berbanding terbalik dengan yang tadi. Redlah dapat 1 kill, teman-teman itu udah ngebuat cepat. Jadi datang 2 teman dari short. Jadi juga awareness yang udah mulai balik lagi.
Gila sih.
1 dan so far belum ada timeout yang di-call lagi sama DFM. Kayaknya mungkin masih coba untuk menelaah karena dari segi ekonomi nih mereka bergerukan dengan Mix Blind. Bakal coba untuk dibalas. Waduh, jatah makan tuan. Anthem nggak mau ke asuhnya. Sekarang namanya DFM si coba penasaran. Guys bakal coba mengancam satu buah shock dart.
Iya, hampir kena shock dartnya.
Satu buah trapwire. Di follow up dengan recon. Coba untuk mencari timing. Karena Redla pun terkena flash. Pakai tapi recon mereteksi kuburan dua pemain dan Anthem. Wallbang berhasil menculik Zes. 4 melawan 5.
Iya, seharusnya Zesnya pindahan.
Dari tangan DFM dari jumlah pemain, tapi Yei masih menahan dari arah Kabi dan Redla akan bermain
Zes, iya Zes.
sangat cheeky. Tentu saja bakal di follow up dengan Zero point sudah standing by from the shadow pun langsung digunakan. Ses berhasil cancel from the shadow. Tapi ada pergerakan pasti dan gak ada informasi juga yang didapetin sama DFM. Jadi ini terlalu gambling banget. Sekarang DFM waktu terus berdetik 30 detik waktu yang dimiliki dan nampaknya mereka akan mengeksekusi dalam side A. Regrouping sudah berhasil dilakukan tapi Yei masih coba untuk menahan. Kami bisa timing. Kelihatan di sini pergerakan sudah mulai terbaca dari Yei.
Iya.
One shot from Yei. Merupakan satu pemain tapi reflect cepat dilakukan dan Spike akan langsung saja di planting. 3 melawan 5. Dan nampaknya ini bakal menjadi salah satu retake yang sangat challenging. Dari posisinya Yei tersisa 2 HP. 0 point dikeluarkan, informasi didapatkan. Dan Anthem tinggal coba untuk wallbang manja ke arah bagian event. Sementara pemain-pemain lead saving. Ya harusnya lihat dari gerak-gerik mereka udah mulai saving. Itu nice shot jujur dari Yei.
Iya, itu performa yang kita harapkan ya dari beliau sejak 2 bulan lalu lah kurang lebih. Karena itu yang jarang kita lihat dari akhirnya dipertontonkan lagi. Berarti kelihatannya udah nyaman nih.
Tapi 7-2 cuy.
Itu main jet.
Ya.
Siapa yang bilang? Udah nggak bisa duelis. Siapa?
Wah iya.
Kompo tadi pas lagi ngobrol katanya ya udah nggak bisa nih main duelis, katanya main chamber aja. 7-2 tapi angka kembali didapatkan lagi dan lagi dengan sebuah skenario yang terlalu berdarah-darah menurut gua. Berhasil yang terpancing.
Masih freeze.
We're down to round 10 now. 3 rounds left in this first half. Can DFM make this competitive? Got a couple of ultimates on Bleed's side. DFM has to watch out for it. Anthem is 1 point away from his null command, though.
One suppressed.
Great information onto Wine.
Yeah, might look to try to peek this May. He's thinking about it, but no reason to really. Just gonna go back to mid with this team, actually. A lot of aiming control here from the side of Bleed. Just making sure they can't really set up for an easy A push, which has kind of been the only way that DFM have gotten their 2 rounds, right?
Kind of like their bread and butter.
Yeah.
That's exactly what this toxic screen is set up for as well, but perhaps then the option would be plan B. Take down mid, take down pizza, straight into a B split. Not really going for that this time though, as they're waiting out for a lot of these pieces of utility from Bleed. The one-way smoke goes away, a second one comes back up, the fragment has been spent as well. Now is the time to hit down to B. Scary from the shadows on the site. Oh, but unfortunately the corner not quite checked. Logs is where Retla will strike. Zest from back of Boathouse continues to make this Odin sing.
One enemy remaining.
Oh, what a beautiful tune.
Yeah, they didn't take out the raid boss this time. And that's going to mean this is going back into Bleed's hands. And again, it's just so predictable, right? Like, Bleed, they knew, okay, they're not in A main. They have a lot of information. Nobody's there. Okay, they're not going A. You don't see them at tree, and then you've got one guy to spot for the sound of them running through market and pizza. It's like, okay, well, I think I know where they're coming through, guys. And Zest's like, all right, I'm ready.
I'm ready.
I'll pick up my 19th kill. Thank you very much.
You put this image
Iya,
of
masalah nggak ngecek dia tuh.
Zest
Si
as
Keung,
this, like,
si Anthem.
you know, one of these big raid bosses in like a looter shooter game, and he's holding the gigantic minigun.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what he's doing. And every kill that he gets a little bit bigger.
It's true. You don't want to have this guy enrage on you. It's not going to be pretty. It's already been rough for them. But yeah, DFM, I think, just really struggling. They just have not found the answer here on the attacking side of Ascent as well, and Bleed have been showing us what we wanted to see this whole time. Maybe Azurai knew exactly when they were going to spike at the right moments. He was the only one to predict Bleed in this one. So far, he's looking absolutely correct towards the end of this match.
Just cannot back down, though. You cannot give up. You took a win off of T1. Where was that DFM? Where is that DFM? Sure, they suffered a bit of a loss against Gen G, but they still showed pretty good performances all across the board.
I would say that, though, that's a good point to mention. You know, they fall to Gen G. Sometimes you have a tough loss that can really throw your team for a loop, and maybe mentally just not quite there. I mean, they won the first map, right? It looked pretty good, but maybe that was a little bit of Bleed struggling as well. You know, Bleed struggling to get online. You remember how that one went.
I mean, off of that T1 win, you got so many DFM fans. Paper Thin was just screaming at the top of his lungs for that win. We need that DFM back. While they might feel like the underdogs in this series, in this matchup, they have shown pretty good performances thus far too. A very successful A-take from before. Can they do it again? Bleed are trying so many different routes, so many different strategies just to foil those plans. Once again, you got Retland Scary watching up around mid. Zest still the raid boss as ever on B. Anthem is really trying to figure out what's the right call here. The coaches have given their input.
Ketemu depan nih jedar ya.
For now, it looks like another A hit, and this time Bleed aren't as far out, you know, towards Wine and trying to put like one-ways and stuff to prevent them from getting in. So maybe DFM do have an angle, but there are 3 people still from the side of Bleed, just kind of a different setup on A.
It is a different setup, but a very nice pop flash that gives them a bit of control over tree as well. Now making their way in. The entirety of Bleed is here watching the angles though. And that's going to be the shots fired off. Also accurate. Every single player collecting on a single kill. And Bleed just put up this huge shield on the A site.
Well, that was quick. I mean, it was a nice try. They got onto the site, but Bleed they were just miles ahead of them again. I do feel like, again, some of these pushes are just a bit too predictable, and Bleed are right there. The shots are hitting. I mean, that's just ridiculous.
I mean, you're absolutely right. You know, apart from the utilities and little bits being predictable, it's like as soon as the first player dies, the rest of them try to look for that trade. But Darian's just having the time of his life, clicking away.
Darian trying his best to catch up to Zest, the raid boss. I'm not sure if it's going to happen.
I think it could.
Okay, that's going to help.
Potentially could. Nice little pop flash, underhand toss. Doesn't see anything, so the rest of them could be around A main, and he's absolutely right.
There's Medusa by himself in A main, just hanging out. Not sure what he wants to do. Maybe just trying to get some information, but hasn't seen much, which will spark a bit of a rotation coming out from the side of DFM.
DFM-nya nggak, tuh kan DFM-nya ragu kan. Tuh, lihat kayak mau ke tengah.
Always have to admire Darian. A little bit quiet at times, but he's pretty much the longest standing player on the Bleed squad, and he's always a team player. Now Zest, you know, playing for the team a little bit with that Hunter's Fury, gets the information. They are reading and controlling the map so well right now. Bleed.
30 seconds left.
Zest is ready.
Ngasih tahu kan.
They slash DFM and now just waiting for that wound to bleed
Nggak
open.
dapet, stoppernya nggak dapet.
Zest continuing to fire every single round down this single choke point. Yay alongside Scary finding a couple more frags, and that is what gives us another 10-2 first half.
Yeah, 10-2. That last one as well. Just the showstopper not able to land onto Zest. He's able to sit there and fire away. Even while flashed, able to just continue putting in his line of fire and making that entry even more difficult. And DFM not able to find the answer there on B either. As you see, looks of frustration. This is not what they practiced. This is not what they had prepared for today. But unfortunately, the results may end up that way.
Yeah, a little bit unfortunate. The few rounds, well, not even few, the couple of rounds that they did win were actually really successful, though. And that's what impresses me the most, and that's what I want to see more of. They had such a good take, pretty decent protocols, and how they made use of utility to push Bleed away on the A site, or even just a rotation over or through with a B split. They did that once, managing to take down Zest. Surely this is not over for DFM. Meanwhile, for Bleed, this is that Bleed that we've all been looking for ever since the start of Pacific. Now the teamwork is here. Everyone's working together as a squad. Scary coming up on assists. Zest still as the raid boss.
Like this setup. Pretty common to see, you know, the Jets go up top. There onto the B site. And maybe expecting that out of Bleed, but as we know, Bleed all set up here in lobby. Maybe looking for a fast tip, but let's see how fast they actually do want to send this.
Okay.
Sessa is ready for this.
And for the time being, just waiting for the right moment to send out that paranoia. Must collect on these kills. He spots out so many of them, collects onto 3 heads, picks up the quad, and then swings out for the final shot to pick up the ace. DFM start out the second half with a perfect execution.
Yeah, that's just perfect, right? It's classic. I mean, the paranoia value is just disgusting, and May does not miss a single shot against that final 1v1.
Over his mouth, like, I can't even believe that I just did that.
Yeah. Little nice at the end, too. Maybe that's a little morale boost you need to get back in this map.
And again, once again, it happens because of May. He's the one with 29 kills on this map against T1 on this slightly unorthodox agent. And it happened again. This time with the rifle, watching the angle outside of A main. Picks up onto the first, gets pop flashed by Darian.
What if he gets
support comes right back?
Pieces?
Ooh, that would be even, even more morale.
Said they needed May.
Itu jalan sendiri, Mark bohong jadi itu.
Truly the savior of DFM right now.
Yeah.
Neth will be able to spot out a lot of information. They are hearing all of these footsteps.
Iya, tim
Spray. No. Okay.
Wush.
Lines it up.
Yeah.
Stays composed.
As he should.
Dapat.
Anthem controlling the back, making sure that Bleed does not have any exit plans either.
30 seconds left.
Dapat. Iya.
Firing off that little water gun. Unfortunately, not quite able to connect onto Zest this time. With the classics!
No way.
It's classics again! Valdez!
No way.
Gila loh, classic dari jauh.
At whichever ridiculous range. I can't believe. I mean, that's again why Bleed's players individually are just that good.
Buat clutch lagi.
And that was just right around the edge of Dice on B site. How the heck did Zest make that shot?
They bought some time with the recon dart too.
One enemy remaining.
Oh man. And the slow creep walking through, Zest spots him, Darian
Wah,
peeks out.
thrifty dong.
Clean classic shot.
Klasik loh.
A thrifty for Bleed turns the economy in this map upside down. What a doozy. It's
Gila,
gonna be
langsung.
potentially,
Wah, bener-bener.
practically match point for Bleed. Not unless DFM can pull up classic rounds like what we just saw.
That
Gila,
shot too,
bener-bener
I don't
dibilang.
even know.
Gua Klasik dong menang ya. Kayak gini nih.
Oh, look at this one.
And the way they handle this at the end is perfect too. You see Zest's reaction? Like, he knows that was just insane.
Take flight.
Classics.
If there was any morale boosting from the round prior to that one, I think it's all gone.
No!
Unfortunately for DFM.
Oh, just
Tadi di S kan,
unfortunate.
pakai pistol.
They do have some
Pakai pistol lagi.
sheriffs. Good little flash through. Spotted by the recon.
Nggak dicek lagi di
Look at
atas.
this take. The teamwork from Bleed on point right now. Well, all of the machine as they head on over to B. So pretty soon they're going to see that it's all clear. Spike gets planted. All they have to worry about is
Ditungguin itu.
defender spawn and market.
One
Just
enemy
defender
remaining.
spawn. Perfect mechanical skill. Down to
Anthem
Anthem.
nggak ada guna nih. Tuh,
There is
Jadi
no
bingung.
answer
Ya.
to any of this.
gimana gitu. Modal sama Serif. Serif kalau jago aimnya
Hanging
nggak
on for
salah.
dear life.
Dar.
Flawless.
Not gonna hit that shot either. Ye picks up a 3K. It is a flawless, and Bleed are on the doorstep of taking a 13-3.
Udah. Kalah,
Kind
DFM.
of expected Bleed to take this map, but not quite in this one-sided
Cuma
fashion.
tadi sih di pistol lagi.
These
nih.
rounds, obviously this one.
Not quite with classic kills, fellas.
Yeah.
Kosong di situ ya.
One enemy remaining. Flawless.
But unbelievably talented if they can, as how they made that happen. One more round. And this would be Bleed's first win. VCT Pacific
langsung
Stage 1.
digeragas tuh sama DFM tuh.
Looking to make it happen, looking to collect even more wins. They press forward.
Gimana nih caranya nih?
A
Di
bit of
laut tengah
smoke,
nih.
They will be able to rotate
Tembak
over.
jarak
He
ya.
tries to spot the contact against them. He does have
Kok
full
DFM
kit of
gitu?
utility. Expends one satchel
langsung
just to make it
dikejar.
safe.
Dark mid.
Net.
Dua.
What is this? Pushed all the way out into Gelato.
Trying to get a little interesting with the positioning on Death's Door.
Nice little crossfire. Flash through. Anthem stays tucked away and hit it.
Ditungguin lu.
Spike down mid.
Teammate coming back into support from Pizza. All that's left is going to be Zest to see if he is truly the raid boss.
I mean, he is, regardless.
One of the most experienced players on Bleed's squad. Knows where the spike is, wants to opt over to retrieve it. But
Akhirnya.
Anthem watches the angle instead. And that's going to be DFM extending their
Karena
lives
waktu
by
masih itu
one more
bingung sama
round.
mati. Gimana?
Well,
Ya,
they'll make it interesting for one more.
nggak
I
terlalu
like
yang
that round, you know. It was kind of funny how Anthem survived for basically forever. Flash staring at the fight happening through our lens, of course. He just saw a blinding light. But yeah, pretty cool setup there. Predicting the push coming in from Bleed. Unfortunately, you know, just a bit too little, too late. Nice setup. We'll see if they can get something going.
Revealing area.
di feeling area.
This time a little bit spread more even. We have Retla kind of lurking up around B lobby. Rest of Bleed continuing to make a little bit of noise. Yeah, collect up on that alt point, alt orb. Darren has the null command now.
Spike drop.
Perfect catalyst to take down a site.
Wow, tukeran smite.
What's it gonna be, Bleed?
Masih juga. Mending gak usah pegang pisau deh.
How's it gonna go?
Tadi siapa
Where
tuh
are we
masih
gonna
pegang
push?
pisau?
Looking like B and Zest. He'll play anchor.
Bah.
Just making a bit of noise. buying out that smoke from
Mending
Zest.
gak usah
Doesn't
megang
have
pisau,
any
kebiasaan. Ngapain lu megang
Could be the
pisau?
poison cloud, just a delay for a second, but here comes the null command. Bleed will be able to pile drive through the site. They do not care what you're gonna try. Zef tries to stay tucked away, tries to find the opening shot. Will be able to get the first, but then instantly traded by Yang. The rest of the team have made their way onto the site. Now here comes Mei with the showstopper, looking to do out even more damage. Goes in to clear B main. The corner's not yet found.
Okay.
Good little heads-up duel against Retla. Player still on site though. Darren watching out defender spawn, trying to check onto lane. Zest now, a bit of a delayed response, and it's something that DFM does not expect. Bleed, cut them open and bleed them dry. Finally taking their first win at VCT Pacific Stage 1.
They finally got it done. There was only one believer, Asarai, to predict them. DFM falling short tonight. As Bleed finally get on the board here at VCT Pacific. Very nicely done, 13-4, I guess, on that last map. I was gonna say 13-3, but there was that one cheeky round that did go the way of DFM there at the end. And you could see from these guys, it's almost relief. They finally got that unfortunate weight off their back of feeling like, man, we just can't put it together. So a good feel-good story for the side of Bleed to finally get on the board here.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to seeing what else they have in store, if they can actually challenge some of those really top-tier teams. As you mentioned, they do have some tough
Para
opponents.
pemuja DFM. Emang kelihatan udah nggak
Their
fokus
future
itu.
here at VCT
Main kayak
Pacific.
gimana?
Difficult,
Mei
but they
juga
definitely have
berusaha gitu
potential
kayaknya.
to make it happen. It's been a bit of a day of upsets, to say the least. But in this final map, in some of these rounds where Bleed makes some game plans, you can definitely see that they do have what it takes. They can string that teamwork together. So it's very possible now.
Sekarang.
A little bit of a nod to Thai
Posisinya,
fans,
posisinya.
Harry, and you know what, our desk will break down how exactly Bleed took